how to rewire your childhood subconscious traumas so much to the point where you practically become silver spooned. Now, first of all, by the end of this video, you're going to understand emotional traumas, your subconscious mind, and how to utilize your subconscious mind in order for you to genuinely make yourself quote unquote silver spooned in a way. And yeah, that's really it. So first things first, you've got to understand the three planes. And the first plane is I say first, but they all exist multi-dimensionally, they all exist simultaneously. So you have the spiritual plane, this is where your soul resides, okay? Then you have the mental plane, this is where your subconscious mind resides. And finally, you have the physical plane, which is where your physical body and your physical reality resides. Now, before we move on with any of this, there's one thing that we have to internalize first, and that is the truth that the physical plane is an illusion. The physical plane is not the numero uno, as people like to think it is, as we are conditioned to believe that it is. Even if you take on a scientific perspective, you barely see anything when it comes to reality, because your eyes only see visible light on the electromagnetic spectrum, which only constitutes 0.0035% of reality, meaning that 99.965 of reality you don't even fucking see, you can't even perceive. So there are clearly invisible forces at play. And now what are these invisible forces? The spiritual plane and the mental plane that I just extrapolated. So after you have internalized this truth, you now move on to understanding that the spiritual and mental planes are the planes of cause, and the physical plane is the plane of effect. Through understanding this, you then begin to realize that this entire time you have been working or towards something in a way that is completely inefficient. Not just you, but the majority of people in the world. The masses have been working towards the things that they work towards in an inefficient manner. Why is it inefficient? Because they try to use an effect to change an effect, which sounds ludicrous. How can you use an effect to change an effect? You can only change an effect with a cause. Now, this is what the masses are conditioned to believe. The quote unquote elite, as people like to call them, the 1%, are aware of the fact that the spiritual and mental are more important than the physical. Not in terms of the physical is fake, it doesn't mean anything, but rather that whatever is actually inner is expressed towards the outer. So you should focus on your inner reality instead of your outer reality. Okay, so now the subconscious mind. Like I already said, the subconscious mind resides within the mental plane, which is one of the planes of effect. Oh, sorry, one of the planes of cause, not effect. So, the subconscious mind speaks one language, and that is one. I was about to say one language that is one language only, obviously. Anyway, it speaks one language, and that is the language of emotion, meaning that thoughts by themselves are not enough. And this also can, I guess, de-stress you, because I know a lot of people who are aware of the subconscious mind have the notion that whatever thought you think repetitively is going to go into your subconscious mind, but that's not really how it works. Okay, your subconscious mind, right, allows for thoughts that are attached with emotion, thoughts that are attached with energy, because all that emotion is energy in motion. Now, this means that it doesn't matter if you're thinking, oh, the world might end, or I don't know, something bad's gonna happen. If you're thinking that, right, bad thoughts and good thoughts, right, if they don't have a strong level of emotional charge attached to them, and then also a high amount of repetition, their chance and likelihood of that thought being manifest into physical reality is very, very fucking low. So you don't have to worry about that. I know that's one thing that I myself also used to stress when I was about, I think I was 16 or 17 at the time. I used to stress about that. I was like, oh, then thinking my mentor told me you don't really have to stress about that, because it's more so about emotion. And then obviously I checked that myself, read some books, and then I found out, yeah, it really is more so about emotion. And obviously, yeah. So next, your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between imagination and reality, and it also cannot conceptualize the sense of a past or future. It only knows the present, meaning that all of the memories that are within you, that are within your head, within your mind, all of those memories are constantly replaying in your subconscious mind. All of those memories with, not every single memory, but all of those memories with intense emotional charge, intense emotional energy, are constantly replaying as what's happening, quote unquote, now in your subconscious mind. That's why a lot of the time within the space, people will say that there is no past or future, only the present, which technically, if you think about it, they are sort of correct, because really the past is just a memory and the future is just an idea. But hey, let's not go off on a tangent here. Cool. So your subconscious mind, I've told you the language that it speaks, and also I've told you the two distinctive features of it. Your subconscious mind is completely illogical. That is probably a conclusion that you've come to after hearing the information that I've told you. Your subconscious mind is really the opposite of your conscious mind in the way it thinks in terms of logic. The logic is not there. All right. So now, emotional trauma. In the title of the video, I've said how to rewire your childhood subconscious traumas or your childhood traumas. I'm not sure yet. We'll see when the video comes out what the title will be. Cool. One thing that I want to make clear here is I am not going to be focusing on one's childhood. Your childhood, don't get me wrong, your childhood is important as well. But when I'm referring to emotional trauma, I want you to know that it isn't just segregated to your childhood. It can be something that happened 2 weeks ago, something that happened last year, something that happened an hour ago. When I'm referring to emotional trauma, I'm referring to any event, situation, or circumstance which caused for an intense level of emotion to be generated, an intense level of negative emotion to be generated. That is the only thing that I'm referring to. It's not completely kept to one's childhood. It's not just about one's childhood. It's about any emotional trauma experienced. That is all. So now, in relation to your subconscious mind and emotional trauma, we're gonna get into something that's actually kind of funny, you know, and it's something that even flew past my head. I actually got this concept and understood this concept. Not understood, but I guess found this concept from my mentor when he made a video on the maintenance of frequency, if I remember. I think that might have been the title. I can't really remember what the title was, but yeah. So, oh shit, sorry, my hand was hurting for a second there. But yeah, so in this video, he mentioned that one thing that he noticed is he coaches private clients on how to rewire the subconscious mind. And yeah, it was something that he noticed. He's been doing it for a long time now. He's been doing it for years. It was something that he noticed recently. Anyway, so your subconscious mind. Remember how I told you that it's completely illogical? What I meant by that is your subconscious mind will create an emotional link to a certain... Really? Bro, sorry about that, guys. I thought my phone was on Do Not Disturb. Clearly, I was wrong. Anyway, your subconscious mind will create an emotional link in response to a negative, intense emotional experience. And then when you attempt to manifest by using whatever technique you want to try and manifest something, all right, your subconscious mind will think, okay, he's asking for this. And then it will call back all of the negative emotions that were experienced in regards to that thing that you're asking for, that thing that you want, and then bring you more of those negative emotions because it thinks, oh, okay, he wants the pain, the anger, the guilt, the shame. And what I mean by this, for example, is say you attempt to manifest a good physique, right? Let's say you decide to use the technique of visualizing. Okay, you visualize a scene where you have a great physique. Now, your subconscious mind is thinking, okay, he wants a good physique. What are the intense emotional experiences that he has had in relation to wanting this good physique? It's now going to go back to that one time that kid in secondary school measured your wrist and your wrist was tiny, or that one time where you fell or whatever and then your shirt went up and then you had to pull your shirt down and then everyone was laughing at how fat you were in your stomach. And then it thinks, oh, okay, so he wants the shame, the lack of self-confidence, the self-condemnation. That's what he wants. All right, cool. Let me bring more of that to him. Are you seeing what I'm getting at here? It gets confused. But in its language, that's not confusion. It's only confusion in our language because it's not logical. But like I said, the subconscious mind is not logical. So what you have to do in that case then is actually genuinely change that event so that you can become a quote-unquote silver spoon. And so that your emotional link is not one with negative emotions, but rather one with positive emotions. Because that's how you'll get stuck on that roadblock, on that obstacle, because you'll be thinking, all right, cool, I want to manifest money. You'll try and manifest that money. The subconscious mind goes back, thinks about all the events that happened in relation to money. Oh, okay, there was one time where you tried to start a business and then you ended up in debt. Or there was one time where you were making money right? You're making money, you're making a lot of money, and then you lost it all. Just, you know what I mean? Just examples of that nature really help to, I guess, understand it. But really, what I'm saying here is your subconscious mind, because it's illogical, creates emotional links to things that you don't want it to create links to. Because if it then links that those emotions to that thing, it will then perpetuate those negative emotions into your reality in accordance to what you are asking for to be manifest, in accordance to what you are attaching to your identity. Yeah, when I first heard this, it was like a light bulb. I was like, what the fuck? Oh shit, like it all makes sense now. Like, but yeah. So I already told you about, you know, the 3 planes: subconscious mind, mental plane, spiritual plane, physical plane, emotional trauma. Cool. Now, how do we utilize our subconscious mind to, in fact, make it so that we are silver spooned? So, first of all, we've got to use 2 of the distinct features of the subconscious mind, the only distinctive features of the subconscious mind. So, we've got to understand that the subconscious mind cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. That's why when you think of that special person, you know, parts of your body start to change a bit. Or why when you, say you were to think about eating a lemon right now, if you were to genuinely focus and visualize yourself eating a lemon or licking a lemon, you will notice that your mouth starts to salivate. Or if you were to just think about that one person that you love, right? Think about that one person that you love. There's this friend or girlfriend or family member or whatever that you love bare. They've done so much for you, this and that. Cool. Now you feel so happy about them. Now imagine them dead, looking at their grave. Imagine yourself looking at their grave. Sorry, I just had to do that to you just so you'd understand how your emotions actually can be controlled by yourself. Now, first things first, we are going to do the 3 R's. We are going to review the negative, intense, emotional experience or observation. We are going to reframe it, and then finally we're going to recreate it. What I like to call the 3 R's. So, what do I mean by review? When I say review, I'm merely referring to the neutral observation of the event. So, in the use case of my first example, the one about the physique, you're simply just going to review that negative emotional experience. The kid who bullied you, the girlfriend who left you because she didn't like your physique. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to think of examples here. That sounds a bit, you know, exaggerated. But anyway, yeah. Picture that scene mentally, while in a relaxed state, of course. You want to picture the scene mentally. Sorry, not while in a relaxed state, because you'll get into a relaxed state eventually while you're doing the reviewing. So, picture the scene mentally, remember it, and constantly loop it, and just neutrally observe it. Just observe it within your head. It doesn't matter if any negative emotions or thoughts well up in your mind. It does not matter. Let them well up. Let them be fully felt. Let that negative emotion be fully felt. You're going to do that while you're laying on a bed. Not my bed, your bed. Close your eyes, remember the scene, and place your hand on the upper part of your stomach. The upper part of your stomach is where the solar plexus resides, and a lot of emotional energy, usually when it's negative, is actually placed there. That's where it can actually be felt. So remember that scene, and then as you're reviewing it, you will begin to shift from a state of negativity to neutrality. And this is key. Why? Because you cannot go from a state of negativity to positivity without first reaching neutrality. That is a gem. Write that shit down. Now, after you have fully reviewed it, you'll know that you fully reviewed it because you'll be relaxed and in a relaxed state. After you fully reviewed it, you've reframed it. Now that it has been reframed, it's simply just time for you to recreate it. Now, how do we recreate it? Self-explanatory. Create an imaginative scene that is the same memory, but just changed. The memory now is a positive one. Instead of the guy bullying you because you were skinny, you could say it can now be a memory of the girls loving how lean you were, or the guy actually praising your physique, saying, oh, okay, you actually got a little bit of muscle there. Oh, you're not fat, that's good. You're not this, that's good. You're okay, the person praising your physique. Just recreate it to, whatever suits you best. Because when it comes to manifestation, it's really personal to the person. That's also why different techniques work differently for different people. Now, what you have done is you have reviewed it, reframed it, and recreated it. In the process of recreating, you also want to make sure that you're looping that scene and that you are looping it to the point where you eventually develop positive emotion. You start feeling positive emotions in regards to that scene. And then when you stop feeling those positive emotions, you can stop. And then just go about your day and simply just enjoy your current reality. Now, I just want to make a disclaimer. This shit does not happen instantly, okay? Like, you spend, depending on whatever age you are, you spend like 20 years, 25 years, maybe 19 years, maybe 17 years, maybe 40 years, constantly experiencing negative emotions in regards to that event, okay? And that event, I guess, also perpetuated itself in a variety of different ways, because a lot of hidden traumas, a lot of hidden traumas are perpetuated into your reality in different ways in all different sectors of your life. But yeah, that is really it for today's video, and thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Don't forget to take notes, and if you have taken notes, please write them down in the comments so that other people can see the notes that you've written and, you know, get a fresh perspective, get something that maybe they weren't able to extract from the video in their first time watching it.